Have you ever looked at someone and judged them in just 3 seconds? Maybe you thought, what a selfish person. They're probably lazy. They're so dramatic. Or you can just tell they're not a good person. Now, here's the harder question. What if your brain doesn't do this because you're a bad person? What if it does it because it's trying to protect you? By the end of this video, you'll learn 3 simple tools that can help you slow down quick, harsh judgments. And the third tool takes only 10 seconds, but it can completely change the way you respond. Before we begin, one important note. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for therapy, counseling, or professional mental health support. Now, imagine you're standing in line at a coffee shop. The person in front of you speaks sharply to the barista. Their face looks tense. Their tone sounds cold. And they place their order with obvious irritation. You immediately think, what a rude person. But wait, what you saw was only 10 seconds of that person's life. Maybe they didn't sleep last night. Maybe they just received terrible news. Maybe they're under intense pressure at work. Maybe they're dealing with anxiety. Or maybe their behavior really is inappropriate. The point is not to excuse their behavior. The point is, you saw one tiny moment and your brain created an entire story about who they are. Psychologists call this the fundamental attribution error. Psychologist Lee Ross, from Stanford University, introduced this term in 1977. It describes our tendency to explain other people's behavior by blaming their personality. But when we explain our own behavior, we usually point to the situation. For example, if I reply late to a message, I might say, I was busy. I had a difficult day. I wasn't feeling well. But if you reply late, I might think, they don't respect me. They don't care. What a cold person. Notice the difference. Our brain becomes a defense attorney for ourselves and a harsh judge for everyone else. But why does the brain judge so quickly? To understand that, we need to go back thousands of years. Imagine it's nighttime. You're sitting near a fire. Everything around you is dark. Suddenly, you hear something moving in the bushes. You can't clearly see what it is. In that moment, your brain doesn't have time for a long analysis. It needs to decide immediately. Dangerous or safe, friend or enemy, stay or run. In that world, quick judgment could save your life. So the human brain became very good at detecting patterns, creating categories, and reaching conclusions quickly. That system helped us survive. But here's the problem. The brain designed for immediate physical threats is now judging people in coffee shops, workplaces, relationships, family group chats, social media, and in read text messages. It still wants to divide the world into simple categories: good or bad, safe or dangerous, kind or selfish, trustworthy or dishonest. But human beings are far more complicated than these labels. Daniel Kahneman, author of Thinking, Fast and Slow, explained that the mind has two general modes of thinking. One is fast, automatic, and emotional. The other is slower, more logical, and reflective. Quick judgments usually come from the fast system. It says, decide now, reach a conclusion, give this person a label. But the slower system can ask, wait, do I really know the whole story? Could my interpretation be incomplete? Am I turning one moment into someone's entire personality? So, can we completely stop judging people? Probably not. Judgment is partly automatic, but we can create space between a judgment and our reaction. And that small space can change everything. We may not control the first thought that enters our mind, but we can choose what we do after that thought. July 18, 2026, 6:04 p.m. Ali Ray are 3 practical tools that can help. Tool number 1. Use the word maybe. Whenever you notice yourself making a definite judgment, add this one word. Instead of saying, they're irresponsible, say, maybe they're under pressure today. Instead of saying, they're arrogant, say, maybe they're shy. Maybe they don't know how to connect. Maybe they're afraid of being judged. Instead of saying, they just want attention, try, maybe they need to feel seen. Maybe they've been ignored for a long time. Maybe they don't know a healthier way to express that need. The word maybe is not magic, but it changes the direction of your mind. It moves you out of courtroom mode and into curiosity mode. And curiosity slows down rush judgment. But saying maybe does not mean ignoring harmful behavior. It does not mean accepting disrespect. And it does not mean abandoning your boundaries. You can understand someone's possible reasons and still say, "This behavior is not okay with me." Understanding is not the same as excusing. Tool number 2, ask yourself, what don't I know? Judgment becomes stronger when we believe we have the complete picture. Imagine someone is quiet during a meeting. You might think, they don't care. They have nothing useful to say. But maybe they have social anxiety. Maybe they're afraid of making a mistake. Maybe they were humiliated the last time they spoke. Or maybe they're simply listening carefully. Imagine someone talks constantly. You might think they're self-centered. They want all the attention. But maybe silence makes them anxious. Maybe they talk more when they're nervous. Maybe they learned that speaking loudly was the only way to be noticed. These possibilities are not diagnoses. You are not replacing one certain story with another certain story. You are simply reminding yourself that the picture is incomplete. Ask yourself this. The last time someone judged you, did you want to be defined by that one moment? Maybe you were exhausted. Maybe you were irritated. Maybe you replied too quickly. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you couldn't explain what you were experiencing. You probably didn't want someone to say, "That's just who they are." So why do we sometimes do that to other people? Now, tool number 3. The 10-second pause before the label. When your mind tries to describe someone as lazy, selfish, stupid, rude, dramatic, arrogant, or cold, pause for 10 seconds. Then follow 3 steps. Step 1. Breathe. Take one slow, deep breath. Create a little distance between the feeling and your reaction. Step 2. Tell yourself, "I only saw one part of the story." Step 3. Turn the label into an observation. Instead of saying, "That person is rude," say, "Their tone sounded sharp just now." Instead of saying, "They're lazy," say, "They didn't complete the work today." Instead of saying, "They're selfish," say, "In this situation, they didn't consider my needs." This difference matters. A label defines someone's entire character. An observation describes one specific behavior. At one specific moment, their tone was sharp is more accurate than "they are a rude person." When you label, your mind closes. When you observe, your mind stays open, not because you want to excuse the behavior, but because you want to understand it accurately. Here's another quick exercise. It's called 3 alternative interpretations. When someone upsets you, think of 3 possible explanations before reacting. Imagine your friend sends you a very short, dry message. Your first interpretation might be, "They're angry with me." But a second interpretation could be, "Maybe they're busy." And a third could be, "Maybe they're having a difficult day." Or imagine someone doesn't greet you warmly. You might think, "They don't like me." But maybe their mind is somewhere else. Maybe they're anxious. Or maybe they simply didn't notice you. None of these explanations has to be correct. The goal is not to guess the truth perfectly. The goal is to teach your brain that there is usually more than one possible story. Because sometimes our pain doesn't come only from what happened. It comes from the meaning we attach to what happened. Now let's go a little deeper. Sometimes judging others becomes a mirror of our own hidden pain. We are often highly sensitive to qualities we have suppressed in ourselves. Someone who expresses themselves freely may irritate us because we learn to stay quiet. Someone who makes a mistake and moves on may trigger us because we never forgive our own mistakes. Someone who laughs loudly, speaks confidently, or allows themselves to be seen may make us uncomfortable because we learn to remain controlled, cautious, and perfect. Sometimes the quality we judge in another person is the quality we never allowed to exist in ourselves. So when a judgment feels unusually intense, don't only ask what's wrong with them. Ask yourself, what did this behavior trigger in me? What did I feel? Anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, or shame? The answer may reveal something important and not only about the other person but about you. Being less judgmental does not mean being naive. It does not mean tolerating harmful behavior. And it does not mean having no boundaries. It means remembering someone's humanity before defining their identity. You can protect yourself. You can reject harmful behavior. You can say this is not acceptable to me. But you can do it without contempt, without attacking someone's entire character, and without pretending you know their whole story. So, starting today, try these 3 things. First, add the word maybe to your judgment. Second, ask yourself, what don't I know? Third, pause for 10 seconds and turn your label into an observation. These small changes can make your relationships calmer, your judgments more accurate, and your relationship with yourself much kinder. Because when you stop defining other people by one mistake, you may also stop defining yourself by your own mistakes. If this video helped you, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more practical psychology and self-awareness content. And now I have a question for you. What was the strangest situation where you realized you were judging someone? Where were you? What happened? And what did you feel in that moment? Anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, shame, or maybe an emotion you didn't expect at all? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else recognize their own hidden judgments too.